Good afternoon, and thank you so much everyone for joining ICANN Conversations. ICANN Conversation comes to you from India COVID Action Network, which is a brilliant network which has done tremendous work during this pandemic. What the network does is we connect facilitators who are online, people who can help, to those communities who've been hardest hit, who need help off ground. So this connection is made and help will reach people through India COVID Action Network. Till date, more than 5,800 needs have been met and more than 4 lakh lives have been positively impacted. COVID India Action Network has 4,114 warriors and 3,435 NGO partners. It's a network which is growing and expanding every single day and doing tremendous work for those who are needy. We would love to have you join us. And if you think you can contribute in some way, find us on all social media platforms and join. And today is my lucky day because I have got the honor of meeting and speaking to Sridhar ji. And Sridhar Venkat ji is the CEO of Akshay Patra Foundation. Sridhar ji is someone whose organization has always inspired me because of the amazing work they have managed to do. So Akshay Patra actually came into being in 2000, and I would love to hear about the story of how the foundation started. And since 2000 till date, they have been able to reach more than 18 lakh children every single day with meals. And during the pandemic, during lockdown, more than 5 crore meals have already been served through the foundation. Sir, your work is very inspiring, not just for me, but for everyone who's going to be hearing us today. And thank you so much for being with us. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Charu, for having me here. And great work by ICANN. Compliments to the ICANN team.
So can we begin by understanding how the birth of Akshay Patra happened? So, who came up with the idea?
Sure. So the birth of Akshay Patra has a visionary seed way back in mid-1970s. Akshay Patra is a divine connection, I would say. So way back in mid-1970s, Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is one of India's foremost spiritual masters, he had built a large Krishna temple in Mayapur, which is near Kolkata. And you know, when a large temple is built, whenever a temple is built, a feast is given to people who come. And a large feast was given on plankton leaves, and people enjoyed the feast. And everyone was resting in the apartment, including Srila Prabhupada. And he heard cries of children. So when he heard cries of children, he opened the apartment window and he saw street children fighting with stray dogs for the leftover scrap of food. And tears rolled down from his eyes. And he said, today we have invited the Supreme Father here. And wherever Father is there, his children should not go hungry. And he gave a mandate that in a 10-mile radius of the center which he builds, no one should go hungry, especially children. So that was a visionary seed of Akshay Patra, which bore fruit. And he did a lot of food relief initiatives. And 30 years later, in the year 2000, it was Akshay Patra was created as a secular initiative with the active participation by Swami Madhu Pandit Dasa, President of ISKCON Bangalore, Swami Chanchalapati Dasa, Vice President of ISKCON Bangalore, and Sri Mohan Das Pai, who was the CFO then of Infosys, and few of their friends. And Akshay Patra was born with just 5 schools and 1,500 children. And from there we grew. Today we are serving 1.8 million children every day in over 20,000 schools across the country.
That's such a beautiful story, sir. And, you know, before we started this formal conversation, that is exactly what I was talking about. So for anyone who has studied our country's policy about education, the Right to Education Act, it is a very well-known fact that it is very difficult in a country like India to make sure everyone goes to school. It's very easy to make a law, but to implement it is a real challenge, because when we say right to education, of course, everyone has a right to education, but it's a toothless act because there is no deterrent. If someone doesn't send their children to school, there is no deterrent for those parents. There's no punishment for their parents. So the incentive of providing midday meals in schools actually caused so many more millions of children to get an education today. And that is a very, very inspiring story. But sir, then moving on from there, how did the idea come to serve food in schools, in fact?
So, way back in 2000, Mr. Mohandas Pai used to visit the ISKCON Bangalore temple, and he had a conversation with the president of ISKCON Bangalore, who's also the current chairman, Swami Madhu Pandit Dasa, and his missionaries, that why don't you do a social initiative from the temple? So various initiatives got discussed, and Swami Madhu Pandit Dasa was more keen on taking food relief in schools. The inspiration was from, of course, the visionary seed came from Swami Prabhupada, and also the inspiration came from MGR in Tamil Nadu, where the midday meal scheme was a big success. So with a vision that no child in India will be deprived of education because of hunger, Akshaya Patra got started. And this name Akshaya Patra was given by Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi. When he visited our facility, he said, "Ye to Akshaya Patra ho gaya hai." Okay.
And sir, how about your journey? How did you become a part of Akshaya Patra, and how did you get inspired to devote your life to feeding the needy?
So I used to come from corporates. I've worked in leading multinationals in various senior management positions. So I used to volunteer with Akshaya Patra. And sometime in the year 2006, I was in a career transition, taking over a top management position. And I was at the guest house of the ISKCON Bangalore temple, and the chairman of Akshaya Patra, Sri Madhu Pandit Dasa, called me to his office, and he said, "Sridhar, why are you building empires for others? Build for these children." So that was like a moment of calling for me, and I quit corporate life, and not a single day I felt bored. It has been fantastic. Great journey. For the last 15 years, I've been in Akshaya Patra. Very, very amazing journey. Very fulfilling.
But sir, you have of course been at a very senior position, and that's when you joined an NGO full time. But I would like to know how youngsters like us, people like me, people who are watching us, college students, when they have an idea, when they feel they can make an impact, how do they get connected to either an existing NGO which works for their cause, or how can they start an NGO of their own? Because there's a lot of misinformation which surrounds NGOs. And if we can do a walkthrough for youngsters about how an NGO works, how you can make your own NGO, and if not that, how do you identify a good NGO in the field of your activism and work for them?
Sure. So, Charuji, let me just take you from an evolution perspective. Earlier, we had the manufacturing wave. Then the knowledge wave came, where IT companies and services companies and all came in. And the famous Dr. C.K. Prahlad, one of the topmost management gurus India has produced, he said the third wave is the social entrepreneurship wave, or the wave of not-for-profits. So in fact, we are in that actually as of now. So typically not-for-profits or NGOs are organizations or group of individuals who are very passionate about betterment of the society, who are very passionate about making the world around them better, bringing smiles in the lives of people. So passion is something that is very core to a not-for-profit. And more than passion, compassion is extremely important for a not-for-profit. So any individual or group of individuals who is very passionate about transforming lives, about addressing fundamental needs, is most welcome to join a not-for-profit or to start a not-for-profit. Age is no bar here. Being very passionate about it is what is required. And we at Akshaya Patra are very happy to, mentor youngsters who want to start a not-for-profit, want to take up a cause, or want to work with us. Or maybe there are many other good not-for-profits in the country which have scaled up. Okay, so we'll be very happy to help them.
That's fantastic, sir. I'm sure many people are going to take you up on this offer because, COVID-19 has seen this, of course, wave of despair, but also a wave of positivity, because this is a time when people who otherwise had nothing to do with social work, had nothing to do with helping their communities, have come out on the roads. they've done their bit to help, even if it is making a few extra chapatis at home every day, to being out and about, helping migrants, making sure everybody is fed, taking care of people. So this whole wave of positivity that COVID-19 started is also a wave that Akshay Patra has been majorly a part of. And the figure that I just told everyone is mind-boggling. More than 5 crore meals, 5.2 crore meals to be exact.
It is 6.2 crores now, Charuji.
Oh, wow. All right. So
Yes.
I'm a little outdated. I apologize. So it's over 6 crore meals
Yes.
in 2.5 months, I think, which
Yes.
is a massive number. And this movement is going on nationwide. So what has been your experience with the pandemic, and how have you managed to make sure you're able to do your best? Because I understand at a time like this, even with the best of intentions, with lockdowns in place, containment zones in place, logistics become a problem, and even things that you could have otherwise been handling easily have become a problem.
So, Charuji, let me take you through to a Black Swan getting struck in the country. Black Swan, I'm calling this for the pandemic or COVID-19. Before the Black Swan struck, Akshay Patra was serving 1.8 million children every day in 52 locations across the country. Earlier last year, we served the 3 billionth meal, and we had the Honorable Prime Minister coming to commemorate the meal cumulatively. And as you know, Akshay Patra is the world's largest school meal program from India, actually. Okay, so things were going good. We were serving children, happily serving children every day, and the pandemic struck, and schools came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
And quickly, Akshay Patra repurposed itself. We got calls from the topmost government officials, and we quickly repurposed ourselves from food for education to food for relief. So our kitchens, which we call as the heart of Akshay Patra, were put into use. What we did a two-pronged approach. One, we leverage our kitchens for hot cooked meals for the needy people. And second is we so we gave grocery boxes, each grocery box carrying about 42 meal ration for an adult. So these were delivered. And I have a lot of heartwarming stories, heart-touching stories to share with you. One I'll tell you. So we were doing relief. Our missionaries in Assam were doing relief near Guwahati, and they were. So there were 3 girls who were orphans who approached the local government, and the government approached us, and we reached out to them with grocery boxes. And their joy knew no bounds. 3 young girls, orphans, and they had tears in their eyes, tears of happiness. So that makes our job, even more interesting, though all kinds of challenges are there. So in last little over 2 months, 62 million servings have been served. And in 17 states, and all our kitchens, wherever we are there, in about 32 locations. And what we also realize, Charuji, is, of course, a reiteration of our belief that India is a country which is compassionate. Compassion is a value that runs in India. Whatever people may say, some may say sometimes people are indifferent. I don't agree with that. I believe every Indian is very compassionate. Every Indian has a DNA to give at the time of need. And we saw that. We saw over 100,000 people coming and supporting us financially on our internet initiative, on the e-presence initiative, 100,000 people.
Wow.
In a span of 2 months.
So
and many corporates on their own, they called up and then said, no, we want to help Akshay Patra to reach out to many beneficiaries. So a lot of migrant workers got benefited. A lot of people who would have missed a meal got benefited. Okay. And another important factor, Charuji, I want to mention to you, since you spoke about not-for-profits, Akshay Patra is a public-private partnership. So we are what we are because of the initiatives of the union government and the support from various state governments. So during this time, the strength of public-private partnership came into fore. And we got tremendous support from local municipal corporations, the commissioners, the bureaucrats, scouts, police, local administrators, and we all join hands and could deliver this kind of a relief work. Just to tell you, in Bangalore, we hired a large marriage hall. If you come to Bangalore, there's a place called Palace Grounds, huge marriage hall where grocery boxes were packed, and the government used to arrange its people to come and pick it up. In fact, the government also funded these grocery boxes. So I think it's a great story of how like-minded individuals, the government, corporations, they all got together and they all became Corona warriors.
And you have been one of the biggest Corona warriors, and you're absolutely right, sir. I agree with you, because I also work in the public domain, and I have also been out and about and seeing people, and it's beautiful how they are reaching out, helping hands and doing whatever they can. Either they are working physically, they are out and serving those meals, or they are contributing ration for those meals to be cooked. And the number you told me, 1 lakh, that's incredible, and it makes me so proud to be an Indian when I hear stories like this. But so taking on from there, another thing that comes to mind is that when you are doing genuine good work, when the impact of your good work is visible to people, you will have many who will reach out to you on their own and offer a helping hand, who will reach out to you and say that you're doing great work and can I contribute in any way. So the compliments for this also go to the organization, which has created a positive image, which has made sure that no negative connotations have ever been attached with it, and you have taken the legacy forward during COVID-19. Because it's a slightly a negative thing that I was mentioning here, sir, because many times people think that, oh, somebody works in the NGO sector, we don't know what is happening there. It sounds a little shady, but there have been NGOs which have completely shattered that perspective, and especially now during the pandemic. So I'm just repeating something that sir has said for everyone to hear. If you do genuine good work, the number of people willing to help you is going to grow by leaps and bounds. So you can start small and you can grow. There'll be no dearth of supporters once you start showing people you are genuinely working hard for a good cause. Isn't that right, sir?
Absolutely. Charu, let me make a point here. You see, whether big or small, sincerity of intent and purpose is extremely important.
Yeah.
Second, the value system which the organization has, the people have, plays a very, very important role. And the supporters see that. Right? Just let me give you a small example. For every 100 rupee donated to Akshaya Patra, 92 goes to the beneficiary or to the program. 8 rupees is our overhead costs. Okay? And in the last, we had for 7 years in a row, Gold Shield for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So basically, we are dealing with public money. It's a hard-earned money. So it's very, very important that every penny that is invested, whether it's a small NGO or a large NGO, is effective and is efficiently used. Once that happens, the brand will get built, and you'll have many individuals and corporates wanting to support you.
Right. And I would like to tell you a story of my own, Sridhar ji, if I may. So I was on a delegation to Australia a year and a half back. And we were understanding how education in India is vis-a-vis education in Australia. And we were talking about the policies of our government and the policies of the Australian government. And it gives me great pride to mention this. When the entire presentation about right to education was happening, there was a large sector of that presentation which was dedicated to the midday meal scheme and the impact that scheme has had on the number of students which have been increased in our schools thanks to that one midday meal. So it was a moment of pride for me, because it was the first of its kind initiative. No one had ever done it, and especially no one had ever done it at this scale. And being there in a room where my country was being discussed in such a positive way made me feel really happy. And I just wanted to share this with you, because Akshaya Patra's story is a global story now. It's not just inspiring Indians, it's inspiring people all over the world.
Thank you, Charuji. I'll tell you one story. 2 months back, I heard a noise outside my office. So I saw a young schoolboy navigate a robo into my room. Okay. So in this government school, Akshaya Patra also runs a program called Just Robotics. Okay, where we partnered with another not-for-profit. Though Akshaya Patra's focus is midday meal program, we also keep doing different pilots under this initiative called the National Endeavor for Student Transformation. We have an initiative within Akshaya Patra. So this boy came with a robo inside, and he was telling me this robo is made out of all reject and scrap.
Oh, wow.
And this kid, along with two of his friends, have won a national level competition, okay, on robotics. They have beaten best of the private schools.
Wow.
And they are so happy, okay. And that's the power of a meal. When you give a child hot, nutritious, safe meal, and there is good education, good support in the school, I think our kids are unbeatable.
Yeah.
The fire in the belly of an Indian child to do well in a government school child is amazing.
Yeah.
And I won't be surprised many Dr. Kalams will come out of these children in the years to come.
Definitely, most definitely. And you're right, sir, because when we show these children a little bit of support in school,
Oh, yeah.
they can climb mountains and achieve anything. It's
Yes.
just that they need that opportunity to achieve. And I did not know about this initiative of yours. I apologize, but this has just made me become a bigger admirer of the organization, because I think we need to work for the future and we need to prepare our kids for the future. I know we are kind of deviating from our core issue here, but I've always felt that our education needs to be addressing the needs of India 20 years later, not just for today.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's brilliant that Akshay Patra is being a contributor in this and thinking so ahead. Sir, another thing that inspires me and another cause of mine that I'm very passionate about is green energy. And as we have seen, there are so many things that the earth has been battling thanks to the climate change situation, global warming. Even now, when we see how our nature has been transforming when humans are in lockdown, it's tremendous. So Akshay Patra also runs a very small initiative, and you've been trying to set up biogas plants near your kitchens. And these biogas plants not just cut expenses for you, fuel expenses, but they also provide you with clean green fuel to run your kitchens.
Yes.
So I like this interlinking that you have done of various good positive causes, and you've made it all come together.
So, Charlie, Akshaya Patra basically is a platform. The flagship is the midday meal for children. Around that, we are trying to create many initiatives. And Green Initiative directly contributes to the midday meal program, what we do in partnership as implementer of the flagship program of the government. So many of our kitchens have biogas plants which generate biogas, which is utilized for cooking. So the best part is, let me give you one statistic. So that will tell you why we are into green energy or wanting to get into this in a big manner. You know, if I save 1 paisa on the cost of meal of Akshaya Patra, it is food for 4,000 children for 1 whole year.
Wow.
So if by green energy, by from waste which comes out of a kitchen, if I'm able to generate energy and that is flowed back into the kitchen, and if I'm able to optimize on my resources, we will be able to feed more children without raising resources.
Reach more and more.
One is that. Second is you are being kind to the Mother Nature who has given us so much, right? Absolutely. And when I we also get a lot of support from millennials, Charuji. Since you were speaking about future, millennials, I think, are future of this country.
Yeah.
They bring in tremendous energy. Tremendous. So as far as the green energy goes, we want to scale up this further. And so we are also, we have done solar installations, we have done biogas installations, we have done rainwater harvesting in some of our kitchens. Okay. We also have done another pilot called the Model School Initiative, where a kitchen garden is there in a school. Okay. A dilapidated government school was taken in Bangalore, and we have converted it into a model school. Now, and we had transgenders paint the school. There's a kitchen garden for children. And now the school is so vibrant. There's a smart board. It's a government school. And the enrollment has gone up several times from what it was maybe 1.5 years back.
It sounds like a wonderful school to study in, and because the more I talk about green energy, the more I talk about positive things that are happening around us, even through your NGO. Sometimes what happens is, to fulfill one goal, we lose sight of another, and it's heartening to see that everything has been taken along, because today we have to make sure that we move towards a greener way of living. The kind of impact our lifestyle has had on nature is going to be very difficult for these very millennials who are inspiring all of us. So many times youngsters have been more conscious about green energy, about ecology, than adults have been. And it's heartening, sir, because then you are mentoring these very children who are going to form the very bright future of our country. So,
Absolutely.
and not just green energy, I know about another one of your initiative, because you have been working with food product in a very healthy way. So it's not just a meal, it's a nutritious, well balanced meal. And when we talk about food security, it does not mean giving people enough roti to fill their stomach. It basically means that you give them a wholesome, complete, nutritious meal. And that is real food security, and that is what you've been trying to achieve. And you've been incorporating plant-based protein in your diet, sir.
Yes.
And I have a friend who sent in this question especially to ask you today, because the weight on the world to feed its population is greatly increased when this population is more non-vegetarian, because it's a scientific fact. And you have been taking care of that as well. You're taking the load off and you're moving towards plant protein.
Yes. So, Charuji, sometime back, we did a pilot with millets in partnership with the Karnataka government. We did a 3 months pilot, and the results were fantastic. We did a baseline study, and we did a midline and an endline, and we saw children love this millet-based products. Second, is very native to India. It takes less water. You spoke about green energy, right? So if you are able to do something which consumes less water from the soil, I think you are giving back to the nature.
Absolutely.
So if we can innovate millet-based recipes, if we can innovate native recipes which are tasty, okay, kids will love it, and they will grow healthier, and will be doing more good to this great planet.
Yes, sir. You're right about that. And I just thought we could do like a little walkthrough for people who want to set up their NGOs, and then people who already have a cause in mind. I think the first challenge they encounter is how to raise enough funds. How do you work around the challenges of finance? I know Akshay Patra works at a very large scale, sir, but so many people want to do their little bit, and they want to ask these kind of questions to you.
So, Charuji, my suggestion to people who want to start a not-for-profit is first do research on the problem which you want to solve. So that's number one. Second is, it's always recommended to solve problems the country faces, right? And then third is, it's very important to ask yourself how passionate you are about solving this problem. Is it just run of the mill, just I also want to start a not-for-profit? That's also fine. But if you want to be long-term, see, transformative impact comes when you are stay put on a problem-solving mission for at least 25 to 30 years. Then you create transformative impact. So my suggestion is first do market study in terms of what is the problem which we need to want to solve. And these are available if someone studies the sustainable development goals, you can see the problem the world is facing or the country is facing. You can pick up one of them, or you may even come up with your own idea. That's number one. Number two is, having identified that, come up with a core group of passionate individuals who will work with you. People make all the difference. Okay? That is the second point. Third is, right from the day one, make sure you are known for great value system. You are known, because not-for-profits, many a times, a lot of Indians or world over, people want to give to not-for-profits, but they don't know whom to give.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's very important that you establish your credibility. Very important, you are very, very transparent. That will build a brand. Earlier, what used to happen, people were very passionate, but they were not focused on telling what they are doing. In fact, compliments to you and ICANN that, not-for-profits are getting a platform to speak, right? So very important that transparency and good values are ingrained and they are followed to the T. You never cross the line, not even once. So if that is there, I think you have got a winning recipe with you.
I seem to have lost voice. Shridhar
Are
ji,
you able to hear me?
Yes, now I can. Now I can. And yes, sir.
So I was telling that a good cause which is scalable. Second, good team which is very passionate. And third is a great value system and transparency. I think these 3 or 4 are the ingredients for making a good not-for-profit, and just stay put at it. And another thing, what we have learned in Akshaya Charuji is stay focused on what you want to do. So all 7,000 plus of us, we just stay focused on one thing, how to ensure a hot, safe, nutritious meal to a child day after day. We keep doing different pilots, but our focus is one thing.
Your core value, the
Yes.
one thing that you started.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great advice, sir, and we'll all benefit from it. And I also wanted to understand, you've already explained how you work with the government. You've been helping government policies. You're in partnership with state governments as well as the union government. And Modi ji actually served the 3 billion meals that you have served. The 3 billionth one was served by our Honorable
Yes.
Prime Minister. Sir, suppose an NGO wants to play a part in impacting policy making for the government. You want to play a role and recommend a policy for the government. How can you go about doing that, and how impactful can you be?
So let me link it back to your first question about what does an NGO do. World Bank defines 2 types of NGOs. One is an operating NGO, and another is an advocacy-based NGO. Operating NGO is like, where you are actually doing ground level relief work. An advocacy-based NGO is which, propagates a cause, talks about it at various forums and creates a lot of awareness. So so when it comes to policy level interventions, it's very important that you come up with, see, today in our government, the bureaucracy and the ministerial level people are very open to innovative ideas, to problem solving. So I think the first question someone should ask is, what I am trying to propose, is it innovative? Is it going to solve a problem with scale? India is a large country. So the policy which you have in mind, if you are able to bring in innovation there, if you're able to bring in problem solving which is scalable and sustainable, I think you will have many people to listen to. And I think today's government is very open in terms of implementing. I'll just give you one small example. The government wanted to make a small change in the policy framework. They took a lot of inputs from not-for-profits online. Such a great initiative. So you have voice of the country, voice of the third sector, what I call as. When I say third sector, you have government, you have corporations, and you have not-for-profits. So not-for-profit is the third sector, right? So even a small amendment to a CSR rule, the government is talking of taking representation from so many not-for-profits online. So the government is willing to listen, and if you're able to come up with concrete suggestions and you have proved your credibility, I think you will be heard.
Yeah, you're right, sir. If you've proved your credibility and if you've been working in that particular field and you give innovative and good ideas,
Yes.
The government is very happy to incorporate those ideas into the policy for the future.
Absolutely.
And we need more and more NGOs with different vibrancies of thoughts to come together and help the government, especially at a time like this. Because, so you just mentioned CSR, and you, of course, NGOs are also largely reliant on CSR that comes to them to be able to function properly. But there's also something which is called as ISR, the individual social responsibility. And that becomes more important when you are going through a crisis, because it's not possible for the government or for an organization to reach each and every person individually. But if each individual does a little bit and comes forward to help, it's a movement which is bigger than any other that we can think of.
Absolutely. You know, Charuni, when I told you 100,000 people supporting us in 2 months online, it's a classic example of ISR.
Yes.
And many of them are youngsters. A significant chunk of this group is youngsters.
Hmm.
I personally feel if ISR, individual social responsibility, is taken up seriously, there is no problem India cannot solve.
I firmly believe in that. I'm a big champion for cheering for India, because I think we
Absolutely.
have challenges that no other country in the world has, and in
And only
spite
we can
of
solve
the
them.
challenges, we are doing so well. And even right now, apart from all the criticism that some people still levy, we couldn't have done better in these circumstances. We really couldn't have done better.
I think if the ISR is implemented in the right spirit, we'll be Sone ki Chidiya again.
We have to be, sir. Vishwaguru
We will be,
Bani
we will be Sone ki Chidiya again.
And with the guidance of mentors like you, many of these millennials who have started their ISR responsibilities at such a young age will get a direction in life. Because I think when I was in school, so much consciousness did not exist. So I'm very honestly telling you.
Yeah.
But now this generation, which is still in school, not even college, they're very conscious about simple things, water usage. They will participate in anything which touches them, a cause which is close to their heart, and they want to make sure people are fed. They'll do their bit.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful, because looking at these youngsters, your country is in the right hands for the future.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. No doubts.
But sir, how do you see the road ahead for NGO especially? Because now I like to say this frequently, there is going to be a pre-COVID world and a post-COVID world. And our generation has never seen anything this destructive. And post-COVID world is going to be very different from everything we've been used to. All our workspaces have been impacted, and the NGO sector is included in that. Education is going to get impacted. And once that is impacted, it's going to come back to your organization as well. But in a specific way with Akshay Patra, and in a more generic way with the general NGOs, how do you see them moving ahead?
So, in terms of, let me tell you the DNA, what I have seen in our country and the people. Yeah. We are a very resilient nation, number one. Second is, we are a courageous nation, right? We are fighters, okay? So, I'm sure Indians, all of us put together, not for profit, all of us put together, we will fight this corona and beat it hands down, okay? So that's my confidence. So how it's going to span out, as in my knowledge, as far as post-COVID era goes, I think the involvement of not-for-profits is going to significantly go up. I think they will closely work with the government, they'll closely work with corporations, they will become more innovative to solve issues. So that's one trend which I will see. Second is the participation from youngsters is going to go up significantly. Even during this COVID issue time, since you spoke about Akshay Patra, we got a lot of support on volunteering from young blood, youngsters, who came out when we elders were sitting at home, youngsters were on the street, right? So, that's another trend which is coming up. And I think we'll also leverage the presence of online, the internet. I think that will go up. The classic example is the conversation which we are doing now. I think such conversations will go up. And what will happen is the world, more particularly in India, we will know how to deal with resources. I think the importance of resources will go up significantly. Wastage will come down. We'll be careful with money. Okay. We will be, I think we'll all, most importantly, will become more compassionate. Yeah. And India's DNA is compassion.
True. So, this is one thing our Prime Minister has been speaking about very frequently in recent times, and the word is stuck in my head. Atmanirbhar. Prime Minister Modi has been speaking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, and all the relief work that is happening now is revolving around this one key word, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And of course, India as a nation has to become Atmanirbhar. But using an example of an Akshay Patra kitchen, you're already working on Atmanirbharta. And Atmanirbharta has to be at various levels now, not just at the national level. It has to be at the level of an organization. It has to be also at the individual level. And small movements like making sure your kitchen is running on green energy, to growing your own food just outside or nearby locally, if you can possibly manage it. All these things are going to play a big part. And all these things are also going to help us revive not just economy around where we are working, but also make a long-term lasting impact to contribute to our country being Atmanirbhar. So what are your views about that, sir? Because, I find this word Atmanirbhar so deep that in lockdown, Charu needs to learn how to cook her own meals. Maybe she did not do that 3 months back. And Charu's organization needs to learn to be Atmanirbhar too, and the country.
So first of all, Charuji, it's a clarion call by the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister of the country on this Atmanirbharta front. And I think it's extremely, extremely important. One good thing which India has in terms of implementing what the Prime Minister's vision is a lot of our demand is local. So many of our manufacturing operations, many of our relief operations can be utilized for India services. Okay, so I think I see a great possibility for this happening, and I see a lot of awareness being generated from the government's end, from corporations end, and already implementation is happening in terms of becoming Atmanirbhar. For example, let me tell you about Akshay Patra. What we are trying to do when it comes to Atmanirbharta is, our installed capacity is 2.2 million meals in one shift.
Wow.
Currently, we are doing 1.8 million meals. So we are working out on plans on if we do 3 shifts, right? Can we reach out to 6 million beneficiaries? Can we look out for, social initiatives which generate a nominal profit, and that gets flowed back into Akshay Patra and we can feed more children? So for us also, we are working on Atmanirbharta, how Akshay Patra can self-sustain itself. And if I were to ask, if you were to ask me my response on this call by Prime Minister, I'm energized.
So are we, sir. And I'm just echoing your sentiments. India working together can achieve anything. There's nothing that we cannot achieve. Sir,
Charuji, you must be aware of it since you're so closely involved at the government level. 250 or 300 years back, about 1/3 of world GDP was from India.
Yes, you're right. But even now, even in the pandemic, we are the fastest growing economy.
Absolutely.
And the responsibility on the youth of India is now more, because we want to propel India into the future, use crisis like an opportunity, and transform the way India functions. And, sir, I'm a very firm believer of this, and I would like to hear your opinion also about this. When you talk about transforming your country, it's not always about transforming the economics of your country. It's not about transforming the infrastructure drastically about your country. The main thing is when you transform the mindset of a generation. All these developmental transformations are just coincidental, and they are sure to follow up with. But when you impact the minds, and you've been working with youngsters, you've been working with millennials, and you've been also working at the school level, not just with food, but also with education, with robotics, and they're all interconnected to each other. So when you impact the minds of a generation, you can make them kinder, nicer, look up to your organization, get inspired, and say, when I needed help, I was given this help. So today, when I'm in a position to do something for others, I must continue with this chain of kindness. And this is the transformation actually, which is going to propel India into being a Vishwaguru. It's not going to be unusual economic prowess or just sudden, infrastructural growth.
Absolutely. I believe that if you want to transform the society or the economy, you have to transform yourself internally. The transformation journey starts from within, right? And if we can provide tools, if we can provide ways and means for young millennials, young children to transform themselves and the way they conduct themselves, I think we have won the war. Okay, number one. Number two is, when it comes to transformation, I think if we can give the purpose of life, why we do what we do to a youngster, make that youngster think why he or she is doing what she is doing, why. If that is addressed, and once they get the direction in life, they are unstoppable. An economy and all will go automatically to 10% plus.
Yes, yes, I agree. That nature of learning to give back is.
Charuji, we should ensure that our children don't have to fear. Our children don't have anxiety, right? Our children are able to face the world with confidence. If that is there, they will grow up to be youth who are very confident and who are out to transform the world.
Yes, sir. You're right. And so you've already talked about mentoring so many youngsters, but for those who are listening to us today, and there are some comments on my Facebook as well asking this, if people want to work with Akshay Patra, if youngsters want to volunteer, school children, college children, how can they go about doing it? How can they connect with the organization and become a part of this positive movement of giving back to society?
Anyone who believes in the cause of Akshaya Patra, our vision that no child in India will be deprived of education because of hunger, and he feels that by this we can transform the society, he or she, they're most welcome to come and volunteer with Akshaya Patra, right? So last year we had, just in one city of Bangalore, we had about 25,000 volunteers. Wow. Right? Across the country we have many, right? So they're most welcome to volunteer. If anyone wants to volunteer with us, they can visit our website www.akshayapatra.org, and all the volunteering details are mentioned there. And we are very confident if youngsters, they all come together, join hands with Akshaya Patra kind of organizations, we will beat hunger out of classroom.
When people come together, magic happens. And now Sir has also told you how you can join Akshay Patra. You can volunteer your time, and sir, you've got a permanent volunteer in me.
Thank you, Charuji.
I'm going to be volunteer.
We have a permanent and a powerful volunteer now.
I'm delighted to always think and work in a direction which is going to help the future generation. And I started our conversation with this, sir, and I would like to end it on this note. When you're connecting the core causes that the next generation needs to be working on, that is food security, that is good education, and clean energy. If you have these three things sorted, we're unstoppable. And Akshay Patra is working on all three of these. And it gives me great pleasure and delight to talk about this repeatedly wherever I go. Thank you so much for your time, sir. And this is one of the best conversations I've had, because I've been smiling throughout, because it's positive. We understand that when the world is dark, there is always a ray of light. When things are going bad for us, we can still look at others who need our help more, focus on that, and build a more creative, positive environment all around. Thank you so much, Sridhar sir, for your time. But before we sign off, I would like to request the admin to play the India COVID Action Network anthem, and it is an anthem which shows the brilliant work which is being done by the network.
Thank you, Charuji. Such a pleasure speaking to you.
Namaste, sir.
मुश्किल है अनपढ़ी ये कैसी कठिन घड़ी, सहमी सहमी जिंदगी, बिखरी हुई बंदगी, मानवता है पुकार रही, दिखाएं हम दरिया दिली. I can, you can, we can, India can, I can, you can, कैन हम सब मिल जाए तो मिलकर हाथ बटाए तो टल जाएगी ये घड़ी, झूमेगी फिर से खुशी। आशा टूटे नहीं, हौसला रूठे नहीं, साथ ये छूटे नहीं, मंजिल दूर नहीं। मानवता है पुकार रही, दिखाए हम दरिया दिली। I can, you can, we can, India can।